This is episode 3 of What's New Player 2 podcast, where we're going to talk about a lot of things, correct? Right? Am I right, Jay?
It's a lot to unpack. Not necessarily a lot of things, but something that's a lot to unpack.
Well, you heard it here. So, yeah, on with the episode. So, once again, this is episode 3 of What's New Player 2 podcast. I'm your host, Anthony.
And I'm Jay. Quick PSA, don't spoil Endgame.
I haven't seen it yet, so I will be one of those people.
I've seen it. It's fantastic.
All right, so let's start off with that then, since we're already in topic.
All right, without spoilers, it is a fantastic follow-up to Infinity War, and it wraps up some stories and some plot lines really nicely while also leaving room open for continuations.
Sequels.
Yes, monetizations.
Of course.
And if you're a comic book fan, or if you've really in-depthly watched the past movies, and there's so much love in it. There's so little details that that come from past movies and comics, stuff that I wasn't even expecting to see in there. And it was a love letter to the fans. That's like the best way to describe it.
And that's what I've seen personally too from a lot of people who have been, wanting to put their opinion about show their opinions of it without spoiling it for everyone else.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the
I've
one
seen
that if you spoil, like that the man in China. Some guy went into the movie theater, waited until there was only 20 minutes left, and spoiled the ending.
Think so. I think got beat up.
He almost got beat to death.
Which okay, as much as you love your movie, I don't think I would never go that far to beat them.
I can get both sides.
I can get both sides, but still, regardless, it's just a movie. I know it's gonna be the biggest selling. It's gonna be the most.
It's 22 movies worth of build-up, though. This guy should have expected some people to overreact.
Yes, I'm not saying people weren't gonna overreact, but not to the point of where you almost kill someone over it.
I can see it only because, if someone went up to me and said, "Hey, guess what? In Star Wars Episode 9, it's called Rise of Skywalker. I call it Raise of Skywalker because it just seems like that's going to be their ass pull to try and explain why she can do half the shit she can do." But if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, did you know at the end of Star Wars Episode 9, Finn gets erectile dysfunction?" I'd be like, "Oh, well, that sucks, but, so screw you for telling me a spoiler about it." But with Endgame, I can see getting that angry because it's 22 movies of build-up.
And it's really scary to think about. It's been that many movies since.
Oh, God, yeah.
Sure, yes. There's always been, 2 or 3 movies from Marvel every year. And, I remember them, being shown off and advertised and all that.
Other than Thor Dark World.
I keep forgetting about that one, in all honesty.
It's the only one I'm not certain if I've seen or not.
I've seen it. Do I remember what was in it?
Red Goop?
I don't even think I remember Red Goop. So, regardless, it is 22 movies worth of build-up. And I understand that. And that is also just really scary to think about, that we've been around for all those movies that come out. And honestly, how long it's been. Because when did Iron Man come out? 2008?
Something like that. The first Iron Man?
Let me actually look that up while we keep...
Alright, so one thing Marvel did, which I thought they handled fantastically. This is not...
I swear to God, if it's true, because I just typed it up in Google, Iron Man, and I saw something, I swear to God, if that is actually a spoiler from Endgame, I'm going to be pissed.
Well,
oh, that's right, 2008.
So, one thing Marvel, to get back onto, they rebooted Thor's character between Dark World and Ragnarok.
Yes, that I did notice.
And, well, that's because he went from terrible to amazing. The difference between Thor from Dark World and the first Thor and from Ragnarok was like the difference between, "Oh yeah, that guy's here too," to "Fuck yeah, it's Thor, I love that guy."
I mean, I do remember when Thor first came out, the only thing that people were really talking
His
about.
Abs. Yeah.
His
abs. Well, that's because that's what Thor was. He was a hot dude with a hammer. And now he is one of the funniest characters.
And charismatic, definitely.
Oh, God, yeah.
So he rivals Robert Downey Jr. with his
So much
Iron Man.
memes.
That too, but like regardless, like they made him definitely a lot more charismatic after his first initial movie.
So you want to hear a fun story about how I got spoiled on Endgame but didn't know it? So I was picking up my tickets. Me and a group of people were gonna go see.
Okay.
And I was picking up the tickets for everyone. Went to the cinema and bought it. And as I was leaving, I was getting in my car, and I overheard a little girl walking away. And it sounded like she was going into the theater because her voice kept getting quieter and quieter.
Okay.
And she says something, and it wasn't so simplistic that I thought it would have been a bad ending, but it was enough that I thought a child could theoretically make this up in their head. So I said, well, that little girl either just spoiled the end of the movie for me, or that's a really cute little thing she's come up with in her head. And then about 5 minutes before the end happens, I go, son of a bitch. And I realized that a little girl leaving the theater spoiled it for me without me even knowing. But that's the kind of spoiler I'm okay with.
I mean, okay.
Like where I didn't even know it until the end.
Yeah.
But that ride, oof, was that a good ride?
A 3-hour ride.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Which, that's probably the best thing about that then, because I definitely feel like with Infinity War, personally, felt like...
It dragged for you?
That movie felt like it dragged for me.
I liked it.
Like midway through when Thanos was
there was a lull. There was like a dip.
It was a dip when like it was focusing a lot on Thanos and trying to get the Soul Stone.
The whole movie was about Thanos.
No,
really.
like when he's trying to get the Soul Stone.
Oh, when he's like
I know that's supposed to be like also
my destiny once.
I know it's supposed to be like an emotional scene, and I get it, but
a lot of people say it wasn't really earned because sure he shows it somewhat in the movie. And in my opinion, he showed it quite a bit, how much he cared for her. But,
I didn't see it personally. But also, this is coming from someone who didn't see the Guardians of the Galaxy movie still.
I didn't see Volume 2. I saw Volume...
I don't think you had to see 2 to...
It explains quite a bit, actually.
Oh, then, okay. Oops.
But it sets up... I think it's the one that sets up that Adam Warlock... I think his name's Adam Warlock's gonna... Adam Wizard? One of those two. Is going to show up in a later movie, and I like him. I like...
Okay. Some of the names just go over my head, so I don't know who we're talking about.
I mean, most people, they only know, like...
The main, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
higher-up
saying.
MCUs. I've never really gone that deep into comics and whatnot, but...
No, even, like, back then, like, when I was really into Star Wars as like, a 4th grader and 5th grader, I did get, like, some random Star Wars comics. Do I ever remember reading them? No, I don't think I did. Oops.
The only thing I knew about the Star Wars Expanded Universe was that there was this woman who was born from a planet who had such powerful force that she could make, like... She could take, like, a few lightsabers, I don't know how many, and just spin them around her and make, like, a ring around her. And I was like, how do you stop that? You can't get it anywhere near, and she can just pull you close.
Yeah, no, you won't be able to. It's like... You won't get it, but it sounds like a boss from not Castlevania, but
what?
There's a guest character named Fuma. I forget the name of his game. It's like Getsu Fuma or something like that. And there's a boss named Rikutsuki, and he's like a skull man with a sword spinning around him. You gotta hit him through it, and he was kind of a bitch, but kind of fun. Anyway,
this is a complete non sequitur, except for the fact that swords are spinning. A friend of ours, one time, me and him and a group of other people were playing Pathfinder, and the finished supermodel.
I know what you meant. I was just waiting for you to explain more of your story.
Sorry, you looked a little confused.
I'm just tired.
Okay. Well, so his idea was to make a magus, and what a magus is they're okay at swords and okay at magic, rather than being good at magic and bad at swords, or good at swords and bad at magic.
So like Robin.
Yes,
From
but
Fire
Robin's
Emblem.
good at swords and good at magics.
Fair.
It's like a balanced version of Robin.
Okay.
And his big thing was that he was going to get a bunch of swords and use the spell Mage Hand, which lets you lift up to 5 pounds worth of things, and just get as many swords as possible. And like, I think he wanted to try and up the strength of Mage Hands or something, or cast it multiple times and make the swords spin around him. He attempted to do this in one of our fights, wherein a goblin reached past the swords, grabbed the hilt, and pulled it away, and that's how he lost one of his swords.
Okay. So jumping to our next topic, our weekly, of course, we need to talk about it. Fire Emblem topic.
The Fire Emblem update.
In Fire Emblem Heroes. That was a little too loud, but
I mean, it's spiked. I can see that it's spiked.
yes, but
Listen, I had to channel Sharena. That's how she would do it.
I know. I was going more Anna. Anyway, God forbid we go with the male voices, but.
Yeah, but like Sharena, in my opinion, is the most
iconic
because you have your phone at 1% volume, and you're like,
Fire Emblem Heroes.
You're like, all right, let me just sneakily, quickly get them orbs while I'm sitting in class.
I've almost woke up my brother a few times when that happens. I'm like, Sharena, shh.
I just leave sound off now.
Well, I usually do too when I do it, but sometimes I forget.
I've done that with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't that bad though with that. Anyway, so finally got an alt,
and he's gonna get a second.
And
one
it's
soon.
a beautiful alt. His overclass of a overlord is just beautiful looking, and
was it called Overlord?
It's like it's an overlord class or something. Oh, Conqueror. That's
it's
right.
Called Conqueror?
It's a Conqueror.
Huh.
That's what it is. At least I think that's what they defined in Echoes.
I thought he became a hero.
He did. But then in the I think it's DLC, you can overclass him, and then he gets that outfit.
Huh. I didn't know about that.
Same thing with Celica. Celica also has a Regalian queen outfit, and it looks really cool too. So I'm expecting when she ever gets a legendary alt, that's gonna be that. She'll be like another red unit, but that's whatever.
And when we get legendary Gregor, he could be in a deer suit.
Anyway,
I know he's never coming to the game.
I am sorry. He will, just not as a legendary hero.
Or at all, actually.
He'll come in.
Yeah, when they've run out of characters and they've disbanded the game.
If they will put random characters in, like, fucking...
Wallheart.
No, Wallheart people liked, so,
Wallheart's in the game. That means Gregor has no chance, because who the fuck is Wallheart?
People remember Wallheart. People said he was a very... at least people remember him as a villain. I don't remember him personally that much. I just remembered him in the game.
I remember Mustafa. I do not remember Wallheart.
See, that was actually the opposite. I kind of remember Mustafa, not like his shtick, but I remember Wallheart, but I don't remember his shtick either.
I remember Shenfei and Mustafa.
Yes.
Wallheart, I completely forgot who the fuck he was, and then he came into the game and I said, who?
I mean, think about Libra got put in the game. Libra's popular, but I feel like not popular enough compared to some other Awakening units. Like
the monk? Right. I forgot his name for a moment.
Because, I mean, think about it. Like, the children units in that game in specific are also very, very, very popular. Remember, Libra got in the game before Owain.
I mean,
Owain is a hugely popular character in Awakening, let alone one of the children units. I think he's the most popular.
I mean, listen, I get that, but Libra had something Owain doesn't. He can give Noir blonde hair, and that's fantastic.
Okay. Anyway, personally with, also I think what Heroes has been doing recently, it's actually been kind of nice. Like, their Golden Week has been just kind of cool because all these free orbs are giving us, the free tickets for the Choose Your Legend banners.
It's nice that
which I really like because, honestly, got me a Brave Roy merge because I needed a +1 of him because I really wanted it. And now this Legendary banner has a Legendary Marth, Legendary Roy, and Legendary all in one, and its own Legendary Hector too, who has this encounter and that I really want, and I rip my wallet if I did, even though I did already spend $60 on that banner. I did finally get Alm today. Thank God, even though he's minus speed, he still has like 39 base speed, so I'll take it. So he'll at least get up to like 49.
That's still a high speed.
Still a very high speed, so I'll take
That's
it.
like one of the.
He's
like one of the fastest in the game.
He is the fastest now.
Yeah.
Base speed wise, and like his base kit. I'm very happy I got him. Don't get me wrong. I just,
It's nice to get the good IVs on your Pokemon.
Shut up.
I only say that because I know it pushes your buttons.
I mean, I think it pushed more of my buttons that I spent more money on the game, but
Yeah, my trick to avoid that is I don't open that app anymore. Because it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where in Duel Links, I have my Elemental Heroes deck. I don't need anything else. I'm not doing ranked.
Yeah, no, that game I don't do it either. But, like, even Dragalia I haven't done it in.
It's just, it's the characters. You love the characters so much that you're like...
I love the characters. I love Roy. I fucking love Roy. But, I just... It annoys me every time. And I was doing good for, like, a few months. And then Legendary Roy came around. And I was like, fuck.
I one time got dared to buy the largest gem pack. Not in Fire Emblem.
Ooh, still.
In Azure Lane.
Still.
And then I built waifu ships. And then I deleted the game because I was like, why did I spend this much money on this fucking game?
See, no. I would only, as much as I hate doing what I've been doing with Heroes, I would only do it for games I would like. Like, Dragalia Lost, with their Fire Emblem Heroes crossover event. I mean, today, of course, I get another 5-star that isn't the part of the focus. I didn't get Veronica or Fjorm, which I was hoping. I got Lily. She's cute, don't get me wrong, but I was like, motherfucker. It was a staff unit, and I'm like, oh my god, am I going to get Veronica? It was like, nope. I'm like, alright, I'll just stop. So, but that game's also been very fun for me recently. Does help that the Fire Emblem characters are in it, but regardless, that game has been getting more enjoyable for me, and having actual co-op in the game is a very, very, very nice touch.
Yeah, because Fire Emblem doesn't have that yet. I don't understand.
They've been doing everything, but like this new, actually, for instance, thank you for bringing that up. The latest update for Fire Emblem Heroes coming out is gonna have a thing where you can use. I think, from what I can tell, actually, let me pull up Fire Emblem Heroes real quick to see what actually in specific it was. So in Ether raids, of course, it's what it's focusing on. You could play a friend. You could do it's a thing called to play a friend in mock battle. You can let me rephrase that. So you can actually test your raiding party against a friend's defense map. So like, let's say you want to test your raiding party against my defense map. You can now do that, or you will be able to do that.
That's
and
cool.
like, that's cool. But like, this is another mode or an addition.
Another pseudo.
That's like pseudo multiplayer, but not really. Where it's just not like Dragalia, where it's just, oh, here's this mission. You want to join in with a bunch of friends? Go have at it.
That would be cool if you could take like your main unit.
Just take your
you and 3 friends.
Take your main unit and like make a mode that can let you do it, or even if it's not like an actual like combat centric mode and have it somewhat linked to like Ether Resorts. Just do something like that. That would be even cute, too. Just having to be able to control your specific unit and just fuck around in, like, a hot spring or something like that.
That would be fun.
And I know people have been, like, complaining about that for where that should be a thing, but, like, I slightly get it to where I don't think they would really... at least so far, they haven't been able to find a way to incorporate co-op in an actual, like, you know...
Yeah.
One-to-one way, but... regardless, so I definitely am excited, or not excited. I'm definitely happy what Heroes has been going through right now. It's been kind of better than it's been as of late. So, yeah, and also they're adding new weapon refines once again.
Who's getting it?
Faye.
Which one?
Echoes Faye, because there's like 6 Fays.
So she's no longer got the fire sweep.
Nope, she's gonna have something called Devoted Bow. We don't know.
Oh god, what is that? She gets a bonus if she's with
That'd be really funny if that's the case. We won't know until the actual update is out. So all we know is the weapon names and what they look like and who's getting them. So Lucas is also getting one.
Oh, so it's like, is it like all echoes?
I wish. And Stahl and Sully are getting weapons.
What are theirs called? Bull and Panther.
Bull Spear and Panther Sword, I think, something like that.
Why didn't Cain and Abel get that first?
They did.
They did?
Yeah, the last weapon refine update actually was them. It was them, Perry, and I think it was Hana.
Perry got oh god.
Perry got one, Hana got one, and Cain and Abel.
Isn't Hana's like really good or something?
Hana's is very good. She has Swift Sparrow built into it with
what's her
her armor slaying.
Armor.
So she has an armor slaying Swift Sparrow
Yeah,
it's very good. Hopefully my next character I definitely think should get a weapon refined is Ninian. Ninian is one of the desperate dragon units that needs an actual stone that will be useful for her, because her stats alone are so not good to where, I know she's a dancer, so like you don't really need it, but like her dragon stone doesn't do much for her compared to, at least now, both Tikis have a refine. And oh my god, actually another thing, but Noe might get one and I don't want that.
Noe's just good already.
Doesn't mean they won't make it better, because Noe's a bitch and a half in all the PvP modes. Like, I hate her in Arena because all I get is her. And like, yeah, I know I have Roy that could technically handle her, or Soren, or if I use like Julia or Deirdre, who are actually dragon killing units, but she's so annoying to see in the arena, and I'm like, I don't need to see you. And Legendary Tiki is another one, but
it's like seeing Link on Smash Bros. Online. It's like, you know, on his own, he doesn't bug you, but every Link online is so annoying.
Very true. So going away from heroes for a bit and still sticking with Fire Emblem, Nintendo's been doing similar advertising now with Three Houses, like their Japanese Fire Emblem Twitter, to where with the Japanese Fire Emblem Twitter, usually they'll actually post like a blurb of like specific things coming into a new game.
Like, this is Clyde. He's a fancy boy.
That's exactly what they're doing now on their main Twitter account, which I kind of like, but also I'm not...
Is it Clyde or Claude?
Claude. But it wasn't Claude that was actually today. Today was
the boy.
McDonald Archer's boy.
Oh god, what was his name?
It's not Dimitri.
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 Like, it's not Edelgard and it's not Claude Clyde. You know, he looks more like a Clyde to me. That's why I keep calling him
Which
Clyde.
is fair. But so now, like, what they've been doing, they've been showing, like, you know, the portrait art and then like the full body art, and then giving like a blurb of the character, which I'm okay with, because I want to know more about these characters who we want to eventually.
Because isn't it coming out relatively soon?
July.
Holy
26.
shit.
I know.
How many months away is that?
2.
2?
2.
Yeesh.
Yeah, we're already in May.
Oh,
think of it like that. We're already in May, dude. It's gross.
Isn't E3 like only like
a month? Yeah, but I mean, that I haven't been that excited for, unless, I mean, the only thing I might be excited for is for like whatever Nintendo will show.
Yeah,
even though
DLC.
Yeah, but they said already that they're only going to be showing stuff that we have already seen, from what I heard.
So, Mario Maker 2, Daemon X Machina,
Astral Chains,
which
I'm excited for.
Yeah, I want to learn more about that one.
Still hoping for some Bayonetta 3 news.
Have we seen any of it?
Not since the initial reveal at Game Awards.
So then we've technically seen it.
17. And then when Astral Chains was shown off, after that, the presenter, I forget his name, said, "Oh, Dorian, the team is still working on Bayonetta 3." And I'm like, that's great, but I still haven't seen anything, and I really, really, really want to. But
don't they always say like, "Oh, we're only gonna show off what we've already shown," and then they like find a way to do Nintendo stuff and sneak other things in there?
Which I think that's still gonna happen. They're gonna have like new reveals and whatnot,
like Fortnite 2.
What would even be the point?
What would be the point of Fortnite 2? I don't know. There's a sequel to an MMORPG, which name I can't remember, where the sequel stopped getting updates, but the original one still gets updates. It's not World of Warcraft, because I don't think that one has World of Warcraft 2. But there is a game. It might be called like Legacy, something like that. I don't remember. But there are sequels to games that don't matter.
I'm not an MMO guy, so I really...
Neither am I.
I know, but I have no knowledge aside from knowing about World of Warcraft from our friend. Otherwise, that's about all my knowledge I have.
You've never seen the World of Warcraft movie? What, you're someone with a life?
I think people even who have seen it have a life. It's just that I heard it's just most video game movies don't interest me. The only one that interests me is Detective Pikachu, which, funnily enough, even my mom was like, you know, I'm sorry, but it's really cute. I actually can't wait to see this. I'm like, I don't blame ya. And I'm like, oh, but they also showed Also, today, the Sonic the Hedgehog, you know what he is, right? Mom was like, yeah. I'm like, well, here's what he looks like. And then here's what he looks like in the movie. And to segue,
Oh my god. So,
Mr. Sonic fan.
So
Everyone already knew.
As everyone knows, Sonic the Hedgehog, made by Universal, I think?
Paramount.
Paramount? A big budget Hollywood movie based on Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out, and they managed to not only make him the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, but they also managed to make me want to not see a Sonic movie. There is a fan-made YouTube video that is free that you can watch that is a Sonic live-action movie. He looks fine in that. He looks like an IRL Sonic. He looks stylized. He looks just like the character. This one, oh my, it's so horrific. He has human teeth and fingernails.
Oh, okay. So going back to the teeth thing. So, Sonic has teeth. Yes, we knew this, right? That's fine.
Hedgehogs have teeth. They don't have human teeth.
The human teeth part really grosses me out to...
Also, he's only like a foot tall.
I mean, his height-wise doesn't bother me. It's literally his entire face and mouth is just... And his body.
His everything.
His everything, yes, basically.
And then, fucking Dr. Eggman, oh...
Oh, actually, see, that's the one thing that I actually will kind of give the movie some credit for.
I think Jim Carrey could be a good
I feel like Jim Carrey is gonna not save the movie, but definitely...
He could definitely be one of the most enjoyable parts of the movie.
And that's my point. I feel like he will be probably the most enjoyable thing from that movie. I do kind of like the idea of, showing, Eggman's... transition into becoming him. Even though, from what I heard, that last clip from the trailer
where you see him
is supposedly something that just shows up at the very end. And
so it's a sequel setter.
Yeah, or an after credit scene.
Please don't let it be a sequel setter.
Yeah, no matter what, even if it is a quote unquote sequel setter, doesn't mean it'll happen.
I don't want them to think they have the rights to make a second one.
I mean, I hope Sega just kind of understands. I mean, this movie was destined...
Whatever happened to Sega does what Nintendo... Nintendo did make a Mario movie.
Then they didn't make a movie for years, and now they're giving out... Well, them and Game Freak are giving out Detective Pikachu, and that everyone's reaction to those trailers had been monumentally better than... the leaks and sneak peeks that we got of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, that's because they didn't make Pikachu have bug eyes and 3 antennae.
And just look gross.
And why is Sonic electrified?
Yeah,
whenever they pick up his quill, it's got electricity coursing through it.
I didn't get that either.
He's not wearing gloves. His hand fur is just white.
Yeah, I just don't understand how...
Oh god,
Paramount.
It's awful.
Paramount literally thought, oh, no, this design is perfectly okay. And because from what I heard, on a Twitter thread that people somehow got word from Paramount, they said they were saying, oh, we didn't like Sonic's original or current design, so we wanted to change it. And I'm like, but you knew everyone... A big reason why Sonic the Hedgehog is still popular to this day, even though...
because he looks so fucking cool.
His design is what keeps him relevant and just...
Popular.
Cool. Popular, basically. Even though his games have not been as good.
Oh, yeah. They've been glitchy, horrendous messes. But Sonic himself is one of the coolest looking characters, in my opinion. I love his design so much.
He's cool, and it's also an oddly simplistic design, but very effective.
He's so much fun to draw. That's a big part of it.
That is a big part, too, is the fan art.
He is so much fun to draw.
So I feel like just the way this movie's already setting out, the trailer, whenever they would throw in the jokes, or they didn't land, they all fell through for me. In general, the jokes didn't seem that good.
I didn't even realize there were jokes in the trailer.
Well, that's the thing. It was trying to, but it didn't, and it
was so bad. The only way it could be worse if they eventually showed a zoom in on his feet, and his shoe. He wasn't wearing shoes.
Please, let's not.
His fur color was just that, and he had
let's not
disgusting rodent feet.
Please, let's not give them that idea because I do not.
Other people have that idea by now. I'm sorry. It's
I mean, yeah, I just don't.
Everything about the Sonic movie looks horrendous. It just they took a formula, a concept that could work so simply, so easily.
Like, I think, yeah, him being like an alien from, a different...
They've done that before.
Which
Sonic
is fun.
X,
which I think totally that works. Like honestly, like the setting and like the story seems okay. I really do think like the what they're going, like they're trying to go for is okay. But Sonic's design almost kills it.
It's so gross.
It really does kill it.
He looks stinky. Like, he looks like he would smell bad. I'm
also very glad, though, that they did not get any of, like, the previous video game voices of Sonic to...
I wouldn't want to taint any of them.
And that's
including Boom. Like, that game's already tainted the voice, but, like, this movie would taint it even worse.
I mean, at least in the cartoon, his
the
character...
cartoon's funny.
It's funny.
You know who... could have possibly made me enjoy Sonic in this movie. The only man whose voice could have made me enjoy it.
I'm waiting.
Jaleel. He hates Sonic. He hates doing the roles.
Do you think they're going to try to get him in that movie for a quick cameo? You think that's going to happen?
If they did
if they paid him enough, you think he would do it?
I think the only good scene in that movie they could possibly make is Sonic standing outside of, like...
A chili dog.
Of, like, a diner, and he sees four guys eating a chili dog, and it's all four of the voices of Sonic.
That would actually be pretty cool. They had Jaleel White, Roger Craig Smith,
and he waves at them, and they all...
No, not Peter Calamis.
He waves at them, and they all look at him like, what the fuck is that thing?
It's gross. Ew. No, they wouldn't. I don't think they would ever do that. Even though it would be kind of cute, but... I don't think that will happen.
Oh, no, it definitely wouldn't. It's
a
good idea.
I feel like Sega would want to try to pull the plug on this, or tell them, you need to fix this.
Sega makes bad ideas, man.
I know that, but like they've been doing decent
decisions, not ideas.
They said they've been doing pretty good. They got Joker into Smash. They're getting...
Did they? I thought that was Nintendo's call.
Yes, but Sega's part of Persona/Atlas. So, right then and there, Atlas and Sega and Atlas actually in general, they've been doing a lot of crossovers with Sonic and Persona.
Oh yeah. You could get human hands and forces.
You can literally use Joker's outfit and forces, and in Persona 5 Dancing and Starlight, you can literally give Morgana a Sonic the Hedgehog outfit, or you can give the characters Yakuza outfits. So there's so many, it's like right in there, their relationship is good. So then,
and Sega
and Nintendo have been very good.
They're like best buddies now.
So, that's why, yes, it was Nintendo's decision, but, it helped that Sega and Nintendo are very close. So, therefore, it was easier to get Joker into Smash.
Microsoft and Sega are good buddies because Nintendo is good buddies with both of them.
I think so. That's why I still think Microsoft still has a chance of getting a rep in Smash. But that's besides the point.
Also, it's really funny to see all these game companies becoming so friendly together, like the Survive Together thing, and then PlayStation's just sitting there like, fuck you.
I mean, that's whatever. All right,
Can't say I'll be sad to see it go if it goes.
I don't think it'll go.
A lot of people like PlayStation, so
yeah, and I still don't think, at least definitely in our lifetime, I don't think we're gonna have only one main game console in everyone's homes. I still think you're going to at least have a few competitors. Maybe it might not be Sony or Microsoft. It could be like Nintendo and I don't know.
Capcom.
No, not Capcom. Capcom.
They make a comeback. It only plays
Capcom published games.
Pachinko?
No, that's Konami.
Konami. Sorry, I was thinking of Konami. They
make Capcom did like a few pachinkos, but not to the length of Capcom.
Didn't they do House of the Dead?
That's Sega.
There's a House of the Dead pachinko though, I thought.
Probably. Sega did that. Sega does that. Sega has a lot of things. They don't do just video games.
Well, they also They make great video games that aren't Sonic the Hedgehog, but they
Or publish good games that aren't Sonic the Hedgehog.
well, they also make them. Like
I know they make them. I'm just saying, like, you know, again, they do
but the publishing ones come
They do
out.
publish Persona.
The publishing ones actually come out. The ones they make, nope. Like, when was the last Samba de Amigo? On the Wii, I think, and that game was so much fun. There needs to be a Switch version of that, like,
or just a new game.
Even if it's just a port,
or just a new game.
I'd play the shit out of that.
I mean, Sega has definitely been, especially on Twitter, I've been seeing them doing a lot more surveys of, like, asking fans, you know, what games you want to see and other stuff like that. So, like, they're definitely trying to listen, and I'm definitely expecting them to
like do something good.
Do something with these.
You think
IPs
Danica Patrick's gonna get into Team Sonic Racing? Think she'll come back for that?
If they pay her enough, and people want it.
I mean, she's my main in Sonic and Sega's Sonic Racing Transform.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I unlocked her and she's my main.
Okay.
Because you know Danica Patrick's my favorite Sega character.
Okay. I just don't.
Wreck-It Ralph and Banjo. Wreck-It Ralph's my secondary in that one.
You say Banjo's in the first one, really.
And yes, he was my main in that one because he's my favorite Sega character.
You see, no Banjo. Not Banjo. Billy Hatcher was my main in that game when I played it at my cousin's.
Oh god, there needs to be more Billy Hatcher games.
I sometimes think that, and other times I don't. I still never beaten that game, and I really want to.
I've beaten it, and I've played the shit out of multiplayer.
I played shit in multiplayer, but I need to go back to the game. All right, so switching to that topic, actually, what game or games have you wanted to go back to and beat if you have not beaten them before?
Let's see, Jimmy Neutron, Attack of the Twonkies. I wanted to. I beat Madagascar on the PlayStation, but I wanted to play it again. I've wanted to go back and beat Simpsons Hit and Run. A lot of old PlayStation 2 games, and I wanted to unlock Super Sonic and Sonic Riders on the GameCube. A couple others that I can't really think of right now. So what about you?
A lot of it's going to be RPGs because RPGs take a while and sometimes I lose patience. Like right now, I keep going on and off with the original, going back to Persona, trying to beat the original Personas, and because right now I'm trying to do it chronologically, doing from 1 and then 2 Instant Sin and then 2 Eternal Punishment. There's 2 twos, mind you. It's like whatever.
What is up with JRPGs and not being able to name worth shit?
They can. It's just like it's certain series that do that. But like Persona 1, I keep going on and off with trying to beat it, and then like I don't, and then like I stop playing it for like a few weeks. Then I go back to it. Then I don't. It's so annoying, and I really want to because I really do like Persona. I really want to see how it started, and you know, like I want to see the story of the first game and the first 3 games that people don't know or don't play, and then you get those hardcore fans who are like, oh, Persona 2 is the best, and it's, you know, whatever. And,
you know, funnily enough, that was how I originally was with Nier Automata when I had it on the PlayStation 4. And it would just be like, play for 5 minutes, turn it off, and never touch it for weeks. And then, of course, it came out on Xbox, and
but like even though when I sometimes I'll play on the Vita or I'll play it on my TV, it doesn't really help me. It's just, you know, if I'm in the mood for it, I'm in the mood for it. If I'm not, I'm not. A lot of Final Fantasies I've not beaten. I've not beaten a lot of them. I've only beaten the 13 trilogy and 15.
I turned on 7 one time.
I'm basically in 7. I'm at the end. I just can't beat Sephiroth's final phase.
Didn't grind enough.
At this point, yeah, but like
I don't feel like going back.
I don't feel like going back. I basically know what happens anyway in that game's case. Final Fantasy VIII is another one that I really want to actually beat, but I keep dropping it for some reason, and it irks me because I like Squall. He's my favorite. He might not be my favorite, but you know, his game is something I really want to actually just like know about and whatnot, and I just keep dropping it. I really want to buy Final Fantasy X 10-2's remaster on Switch, but I know if I do that, I'm not going to probably beat it or play enough, so I'm like, do I really want to do that? So I haven't done that. And Tales of Symphonia, And Zestria, I played with one of our friends, and then Zestria, I played it by myself for a bit, and then I stopped playing again. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I got Graces up to the final dungeon. I got Vesparia up to the final dungeon, and then my Xbox died, and I just bought the remake of it, and I haven't gotten far in it.
Neither one have I really done. I got okay. Symphonia, I'm a little bit further in than Zestria, but regardless, I still haven't really done much into it to where I haven't beaten it essentially. And then going back to Billy Hatcher, have not beaten Billy Hatcher, and that's a game I hold pretty close to my heart because that was one of those GameCube games I just grew up with and I enjoyed very much, even though I never beaten it. So that's definitely another game. And then just to end this off, a little part of me kind of wishes I went back and beat Dark Souls, but
I'm fine not having beaten Dark
Souls.
But
yeah, then I think about I'm fine with it because that game is just that franchise is just a gatekeeper of oh, get good, otherwise you're a bad gamer, and that entire.
I'll give them that with the first one, but the second and third one, I've seen a lot of people dying to poor enemy placement or wonky controls. Or glitches.
I mean, I feel like that's a whole. I mean, that's just for me personally. That's how I see a lot of the Soulsborne games or Sekiro.
Bloodborne looked fun.
Bloodborne looked fun, definitely, but I still feel like it has that weird wonky control scheme that I'm not a fan of personally. At least that's how I think of it. I'm not saying it's a bad game.
I didn't like the look of Sekiro.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, I really didn't like the look of it either. Even though I like,
but then again,
even though we're weebs, so.
But then again, I knew I wasn't gonna like Sekiro because I was like, that one's a samurai game. I prefer knight games.
And ironically, I'm the opposite. But even then, I'm like, I'm not gonna play it, and if I do, I'm gonna get very frustrated with it. So I gave up on it.
Yeah, it's funny. It shows in when those 3 times we played For Honor. I play Viking and Knight, and you only play the samurai.
Yeah, and that's another game I kind of, it's alright.
I thought it was fun to goof around with just you, me, and our 2 other friends.
Yeah, even then personally for me, that got me a little bored. So.
One last game. I wish I want to go back and play. Dragon's Crown. I got it on the PlayStation 3. And when I had PlayStation Plus and it was free, and me and my cousin and a tenant we used to have, we played the shit out of it, and I played as the archer, and I had so much fun with that game. And I keep thinking, I should get it on the PlayStation 4 or the Vita. And then I always talk myself out of it because I will never turn on my PlayStation 4 and I have to send my Vita in to get the joystick fixed.
Yeah, and I get that. I totally get that. So switching to topic real quick. Anime I've been watching recently. Wanted to actually talk about anime for once since I feel like we really don't talk about it too much yet. So since I think we said this before, but the way we usually watch animes with English dubs, usually never Japanese dub with the subtitles, just because that's just the way we grew up with, and personally we just enjoy anime more like that. So
And sometimes, if I like the look of a show, I will watch it subbed if there's no dubbed available, and then the dub will come out and I'll watch it again that way.
I will only watch sub personally if we're going just to talk about this. If I definitely think a show is not going to get a dub, even though funnily enough, 3 of the shows I watched subbed have been dubbed. Those being Konosuba, ReZero, and Tanaka-kun is always listless. Oh, actually 4. And haven't you heard Sakamoto-kun? Those shows I watched sub and I enjoyed them, and then months or a year later, they're like, oh, now watch them with dub. I'm like, you motherfucker.
I watched Is That a Zombie and Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon sub because I didn't think either one of them were going to get a dub.
Yes.
And then 2 years later with the zombie one.
And then I told you about
Is It Wrong?
Is It Wrong?
And I think I have that on DVD now.
You do. I don't think you have the OVA though.
I don't know about that. I think the only stuff I have the OVA for is because it was $5, High School of the Dead's OVA.
That's fine.
And I only had $5 on me that day, and I thought, fuck it, let me buy something.
I get that.
And Problem Children's Blu-ray came with
it, yeah.
And that's a show they need to make more of, because they don't, and it's got a fantastic story in the mangas that aren't English. The only way I found them in English is by someone translating them from the French version to English, and it's not even the full thing.
Yeah, I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked that it's like a series that has not been published in America yet. Because I think there's so many like other like niche and random series that get published from like Gen Press or
it's in I think it's Indonesia. It has its manga in Indonesia.
Is it not a Japanese made?
No. Like it's from Japan, but it's been the manga's been translated into French.
Translated and published in more of the Asian, European areas.
Yeah, French.
Okay.
Not English.
Mm-hmm.
Indonesian. I can't remember. Maybe Prussian.
I only say that only because because like that's a random niche show, but like I like another random show that I watch called I think it's Wotakoi. That was another sub show that I still think won't ever get dubbed. It's basically these nerds who try to how their relationship would go, and it's really cute. And
I think I've seen that.
And that show that show's source material got published in America. I'm like, that's weird. I feel like that would be and that's why I'm shocked that
Problem Children
isn't published in America yet.
Yeah, it baffles me that it's in so many various places, but no one ever was like, let's make an English dub, because England, America, Canada, United States, Canada, they all speak English, although Canada partially speaks French.
So there you go. So going back to what I was actually going to talk about, though. So what I've been watching recently with since I know the Japanese version has been finished for I think a week or two, but Mob Psycho 100 season 2 finally got its English dub that was promised like weeks ago from Funimation. And I know that entire thing was because of Crunchyroll's depart, and then just how they were going to probably stream it and where it was going. But they finally got it out, and it's going to be, and it's as of right now, as of this recording, it is going to be streamed with new episodes every Thursday, I believe. So that show is a very it's good. And like I watched the OVA before it because that was also brand new that came out with the dub, and like it was basically like a recap / like a new episode mixed between. It was an hour-long OVA too. So like I enjoyed the show, and like watching like the recap, I'm like, honestly I miss the show a lot more than I thought, and like it's a special kind of show. And like the first episode 2 of season 2 was like, yeah, I miss the show. This is a good show. I cannot wait for more. So I'm very happy that show's getting now a weekly release, and I'm excited to see what happens, because I know the finale of season 2, I saw people tweeting about it, vaguely tweeting about it, not like spoilery, but like basically like how good of a show this really is, and how just Mob as a character grows and something like that. And I'm very excited to see how it's gonna actually play out now, since I can actually watch it more easily.
What's it? I've been watching. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Go.
I've been watching some of that show, Quintessential Quintuplets, and it's yet to do the thing that makes me go, all right, I'm done with this series, at least for now. Like the slime show, the Born Another. That one was a great show. Like it was pretty good. It was kind of funny. It was predictable, but it had very good lizard babies. Very, very good lizard babies. And then it completely lost me as soon as he gave the lizard babies their name, because it took a perfectly fine lizard person and made it into a waifu, and I was not okay with that. How dare you ruin a perfectly good lizard? Of course, one of them became a dragon, and I love the fact that he became a dragon. But some of the lizards, I think just like 3 of the lady lizards, became waifu bait, while the rest of the lizards didn't. And it was very annoying how inconsistent that was. Like, it was the show had been decently inconsistent with, not decently inconsistent, decently consistent with, if a goblin gets a name, they become a hobgoblin. If the leader of a goblin village gets a name, he becomes a goblin chief. If more villages join him, he becomes a goblin king. Like, there was, like, an actual, like, build-up to what they are. Orcs become this thing. Ogres become this thing. And then they screwed up at the lizard people, specifically so they can have a few waifus, and I'm like, no, how fucking dare you? And then they introduced a stripper lolly, and I was like, well, they've jumped the shark, and I've jumped.
Yeah, I never jumped in that show to begin with. The only shows around that time that were being streamed weekly were Fairy Tail and Black Clover. Those were the only shows that I really kept up with, and then sometimes missed the 1 week episode, and then I just catch up. But that would
catch up with Black Clover.
Those show I caught up with that show very quickly, and I was kind of disgusted with myself a bit.
It's a good show.
It takes a bit, but yeah, it gets pretty fun. I still think it needs to take a break.
Yeah,
because the animation's definitely crippling from that, and let alone it just really should take a break in general. But that's a whole other conversation. But I forget if I forgot if I ever talked about this, but the other show that I've been watching weekly is the Fruits Baskets reboot. Oh my god, so good. It's so nice to see almost everyone come back, and it's just a beautiful show. And
were you the person who was ranting about it, who their first sentence was, Kyo is still a babe, or something like that?
I might have said that, but Kyo is fucking literally the most recent episode of him. Literally, because like they changed a few things from the manga and the original source material, which is fine, because the way that it's regardless, the product itself is amazing. But like, they show Kyo in the shower, and like he shows like his back muscles. I'm like, all right, damn, he has pretty nice muscles. And then like he runs out of the shower, and he has like a 6-pack. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he like banging jacked now? I'm like, well, I understand why he's jacked, because he's a martial artist and he trained in the mountains for like 3 months, so therefore he probably got muscle from that. But it's just now weird seeing that, especially when you originally watched the original, where that wasn't actually even a scene, and let alone when he was shirtless. They didn't have any abs, and even in the manga, he had no abs, or no character really had abs. So seeing seeing these characters in a more modern animation style and just character design in general, it throws you off a little bit, especially when you're coming from the original. But it also just shows you how much more love and detail that they're bringing into this, and just having in the English version, almost all the main characters' voices back. It's really nice hearing Laura Bailey reprise an anime role, especially one that is this iconic for her and just beloved. And hearing Kyo and Yuki and having their
voices
back and their banter, it's just really nice to see. And then and then the episode ends. And then I gotta wait another week. I don't mind waiting weekly for shows. I really don't. It's just, in this show's case, even though I already know what's gonna happen, and since I read the original and watched the original...
It's a special show.
It's a special show, but oh my god, I really fucking just want to binge watch that show. And then, as of right now, the latest episode that's gonna be coming out this week, I'm dreading, because it's one of those episodes that I was very emotional about. And now going to see it in this style, I'm dreading how I'm going to be hurt by it. And then there's a few episodes from the original that they're going to have to come up to. That's going to be like, oh my god, how's this going to feel for my heart? And then when they actually get to the other climactic parts that weren't animated, that will be, I don't know how I'm going to handle myself. Because, my god, that shows... that story just gets so intense and so dramatic. It can be a little melodramatic at sometimes, but it's such a wonderful story and just has wonderful characters and just it really is again a special show that 17 years it's been since the original anime came out in America and has kept with so many people, including myself, for that long to where it still got this much support even now, and to even where they got even original actors back from America who have moved on to other bigger things, still had the choice, and they felt like they need to come back for this, since they know how much it meant to some people and even to them as the actors, since especially for these actors, it was so long ago. So much stuff has happened. Most of these actors have had kids now. Their kids are graduating high school or even college.
Holy shit!
So it's been so long, and it's just seeing because it really shows like the growth from their English actors reprising the roles, and just seeing like how much they've grown as an actor, and also just the anime itself, to where in the translation department how much more things have been re-edited, to where the pronunciation of people's characters' names have been changed to reflect more of the original, to where now instead of like Kagura, how they said the original, now they say Kagura. How now? Because that's how you say her name in most other renditions, if they ever say it. Also, like Shigure is not Shigure. Toru is they usually
Sugar Ray.
Shut up! I said it weird. Like they do with Toru is like Toru now. They really it just shows how much
Effort and love they put into this.
And it really very much so, and also just really shows how much anime itself
has
changed from 2002, I think Fruits Basket came in America, to now 2019. How much has changed from just animation and just the way it's handled now,
and the quality of it.
The quality is a whole other thing in general, but yeah, just it really is surprising how much the anime community and how it's now brought to us is just so different from how it was, to where we had to watch it on Toonami every week, or Kids WB, depending on the show, and hopefully they released the DVDs, and then you gotta hopefully find the DVDs or VHSs, and now it is so easy to watch anime. You can literally just stream it, and you can even watch it an hour comes after an hour
after it comes out,
because in Japan with the English subtitles, so you can watch it almost immediately. And I still feel like as an anime
it's so surreal.
It's so surreal, and also in the anime community, it also I feel like so many fans take shit like that for granted now, to where there's so much more bitchy and a lot more. I feel like it really is a lot more negative.
That's in a lot of communities.
And I know. But like in the anime community specific, it's so much more gatekeeping now. And it's just so gross.
Yeah, that annoys me how much gatekeeping there is.
Like especially like with, for instance, the sub and dub wars, quote unquote.
Yeah, watch how you want.
Don't shove your ideals down someone else's throat because you don't like the way they watch it.
Unless you're saying that we should establish a communist state, because it works every time except for the ones it doesn't.
Okay. Don't give me those pointer fingers. You're making me uncomfortable. I think the only thing that personally, the only thing that kind of frustrates me with that part of the community is when they clearly have an English name of an anime title, and yet you still want to refer to it as the Japanese name, even when like most of the time.
Boku wa Hero Academia.
Yeah, that one really irks me. You just say My Hero Academia. There's a reason why in the anime, the fucking title, you even have the English title.
Girls aren't allowed to call it by its Japanese name, because Boku wa stands for I, as in a young man. That's what Boku is. So girls, women, they can't say Boku wa Hero Academia because they're not young men. And old men can't say it either because they're not young men.
Okay.
That's what Boku stands for.
I don't care. I don't watch. I don't read. Fuck.
Listen, I took one Japanese class.
I didn't take Japanese. I took English, and I can barely do that, as you can clearly tell.
I took one Japanese, and I've learned.
Nope. Because I
my
knew...
teacher would be disappointed with how much I remembered.
I had her too, but I had her for sociology. She was
nice.
She
She enjoyed the Japanese much more than her other classes.
probably
I can guarantee you that.
probably because she let a lot of discourse happen in the sociology class, and I wanted to stab myself because so many people were so.
Anyways, this isn't pop culture.
No. Anyway, so yeah, it's really scary how, especially being an anime fan since the early 2000s, really is scary how much it has grown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that's probably a good point to jump off to end this episode because we've been going for quite a while and
it's one of the longer ones.
Yeah, let alone anime can so many.
It's a big rabbit hole.
Well, same thing with video games. So technically, both subjects that we talk about for the most part in this show is.
It's not limited to anime and video games.
No, but those are the main subjects that we also know about and talk about at least, and know about in the sense of just what we watch and what we hear. Not really. Not like in depth.
Oh God, no, we're not.
No, but not that.
Not refined.
We're not that refined or professional. But
so yeah, this should be a good place to end.
Yeah.
Join us next time when I discuss the trippiness that is the Sonic X cartoon.
Oh, are we doing that?
That's happening next week.
That's gonna be next week's episode.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
It's gonna happen during next week's episode. I don't know if it's gonna be the whole thing.
Well, I gotta hopefully think of something else for that, or I don't know, because I don't think I have any topics for that. Unless I can think of something. Probably Fire Emblem.
You got a week. Don't worry.
Yeah, but if anything, I always got Fire Emblem Heroes.
Love you.
I love you more.
Oh, so you have started to love them.
Slowly. Very, 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 very slowly.
My love came from the beginning.
Mine takes a while, because I'm more,
Not a whore.
I wouldn't say a whore. I have more standards. You guys gotta work for my love.
Alright, on that note, bye.